So I'm going to ask you here, going into this game on Saturday, what are 3 things that you would like to see? I kind of touched a little bit on it earlier, but what are 3 things as a fan of this team that you would like to see going in against the LA Chargers?
I'd like to see more clarity out of our kind of 3rd, 4th, 5th wide receivers. I'd like to see one of them, whether it be fucking Turpentine or Turner. No, not Turner. Shit. Houston or Vasher or
Even Tolbert.
Tolbert. One of those 3, I'd like to see one of them step up and have a standout game. That would be nice and calming. The other thing I want to see is, of course, less penalties.
Yep.
And I want to see it in a way where it's like, oh, they didn't just get less penalties and now they're getting more sacks. We need to see that protection continue. Because what's the point if the only way that you can play the NFL is by committing penalties, then you're not
then you're a bitch.
Then you're an AJ Johnson.
Then you're that was only 2.
Oh, number 3. Shit. I mean, it would. Yeah, kicking. We gotta
special teams.
We gotta have some. But this returning whatever we have a few weapons that can return a ball. TP20 is probably our I don't want him to.
Well, that's the whole point of having that Turpin guy.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it so that CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard don't have to.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have to. Like those guys, like we talked about, if either of those guys gets hurt,
well,
we are in trouble.
And those are the most probable plays for a person to get hurt is I believe the special teams.
Let's hear in chat. What are you guys looking forward to? AJ just said his 3. What in chat are you guys looking to see this week against the LA Chargers? I got a couple. I would like to see something from our starters, just because it makes me feel like we're getting so damn close to NFL football. Like, I want to see a Micah Parsons out there. I want to see him rushing the quarterback. I want to see Dak slinging it to CeeDee Lamb. I want to see some of these starters, and I want to see these starters do well. AJ, I'm not going to say the penalties because you said the penalties, but I'll go with something else. As I mentioned a bit, I want to see this Turpin cat. I want to see Turpin, and I want to see him return the ball. He had a couple mental lapses. He fair caught 2 returnable balls. I think one was on a punt and one was on a kickoff. I want to see what this guy can do in some open space. And number 3, I want to see Cooper Rush or Will Grier or Ben DiNucci kind of go out of the pack and claim that number 2 spot. Because in the NFL, your quarterback 2 is just as important as your QB1.
Yeah. Well, I think what we basically just laid out is there are still a lot of questions, not even some of it's backup, but some of it's the starting lineup too. I don't think that's a regular for this time of the season anyways.
No, most of the stuff you're looking forward at this point of the year, at this point of the season, preseason, you're watching, you want to see your depth positions play out, right? Like you want to make sure your quarterback 2 is good. You want to make sure your tackles, like your swing tackles playing well. You want to make sure your kicker looks good. Like there's stuff that obviously there's probably names that we might not even mention again in the season.
Yeah.
That we're interested in seeing. Like Will Grier, he might not take a snap ever in the regular season, but it's still important to shore that position up.
Yeah, we got to see the action. And also I do want to see the main offense come out. If I can do a little 4th star here.
You want to see the starters?
A hashtag or asterisk star.
Who are you most excited to see? What starter?
Because I haven't seen anything that's off season. I want to see TP20 just get the ball and do some fucking fun
like
stuff.
Bust out. But does that make it a running back controversy if TP20 gets it and runs for fucking a 60-yard TD?
It's absolutely going to be people online, but I think from what I've seen, Zeke is all for looking at the backfield as a tandem. Like, there was I don't know if the interview was today, but there was an article I saw about an interview that he had today, and he was talking more along the lines of like, rather than I'm the starter and he's the backup, and he was talking about the backfield, which I love to see, even though we know that Zeke's the fucking
lead dog.
the lead dog. But the way that he talks about it is like makes me excited to see like the potential, because if you had to satisfy, if Zeke was the type of guy and you had to satisfy his ego and then like not run certain plays for that reason, which I would hope no team would ever do, but of course it does happen. It's just nice to see that he's like talking about that backfield as a tandem and not just I'm the starter, he's the backup.
They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys.